2023 is a year that the nation will not be in a hurry to forget, with its ups and downs due to the conduct of the general elections, cash swap policy, and the fuel subsidy removal. In spite of these enormous challenges posed by these events, ICPC made significant impact in the execution of its three-pronged mandate in the fight against corruption. Welcome to Corruption Must Go, ICPC's weekly television program. I am your host, Murna Barnabas Atiai. Today on the program, we shall beam our searchlight on the giant stride the Commission had recorded in 2023, which saw the end of the tenure of the fourth board led by Professor Bolaji Owasonye, SAN OFR, and climaxed with the coming of the new chairman, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Stay with us as we bring you highlights of the achievements of the Commission in 2023 after this time out.
Fellow Nigerians, do you know that constituency projects are actually your projects? Do you know that constituency projects are funded by the federal government? Do you know that you can track release of constituency project funds for projects located in your constituency and follow up to know how they have been executed? Constituency projects happen because government does not want to leave any community out in development efforts. You have a responsibility to know what constituency project has been planned for your community, how much has been allocated for it, and whether value for money has been delivered. Take ownership of constituency projects located in your community. Protect them because they belong to you. Government knows about your needs and is planning for you. Government needs your help to ensure quality delivery. Know that constituency projects are actually your projects. Protect your constituency project. My constituency, my project.
For information on funds allocated to projects in your constituency, call 0800 2255 4272.
This message is from the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission and the National Orientation Agency.
The Commission during the year under review carried out various petition and non-petition intelligence-led investigations, prosecution of cases, and secured some convictions. How did this go? Let us hear from the Director of the Legal Services Department, Mr. Henry Imore.
One of the major functions of the ICPC is to investigate and prosecute cases where necessary. So normally after investigations, case files are sent to the legal department and after study and review the case files, then where necessary, we charge the suspects to court. When they are charged to court, they become defendants. And in 2023, we filed a lot of cases in court. We filed a lot of cases in court. We filed about 65 cases in court, and in that same period too, we had about 20 convictions. Most of our convictions are mainly public officers who, one way or the other, have carried out some infringements. And a lot of prosecutions are still ongoing. And this year alone, a lot of our cases suffered some adjournments because of the election tribunals. And most of the judges went for board now, but they're all back and we are back in full throttle. And we are hoping that in 2024, we are going to file more cases. And in filing cases, we are hoping to focus more on money laundering. Because in Poland, we charge for money laundering because we see a lot of people diverting funds and diverting funds to their private use, government funds, and this is the essence of the Money Laundering Act 2022, and we want to start implementing that act full throttle, as well as the Process of Crime Act 2022. You know, after the Process of Crime Act came out, was enacted, and when the President assented to it in 2022, immediately the Commission created the Process of Crimes Department for the management of seized assets. And the Process of Crimes Act outlined procedures under which you can confiscate property and forfeit them finally. And a lot depends on the activities of the legal department, and we are hoping this year we're going to focus a lot to a non-commission based forfeiture as well as money laundering cases. Most of the high-profile cases we have now, they are still ongoing. They are still ongoing because we suffered a lot of adjournments. But we've had convictions, but not really very high-profile cases. But we are getting close to concluding some of these cases, and then you hear about our convictions. But no, we had convictions in 2020, but not really high-profile cases because they're still ongoing, and you know these high-profile cases, the difficulties in prosecuting them. They are the best of lawyers who throw in the way judicial system is. They throw in a lot of frivolous defenses, waste the time of the court, and unfortunately, you must give them a fair hearing. But we're hoping by this year, we're going to get some convictions on fight some high-profile cases. And we have commenced trial, and trial is ongoing as we speak. And we are hoping, all things being equal, that we'll conclude those cases this year.
Welcome back. ICPC is not only interested in punishing the corrupt through its enforcement mandate, but also in tracing proceeds of corrupt acts and denying the corrupt their enjoyment of the illegally acquired assets. In the area of recovery of proceeds of crime, ICPC in the preceding year effected the seizure of cash, movable and immovable properties running into billions of naira. The Acting Director of Proceeds of Crime Department, Mr. Ebenezer Shogunle, throws more light on this success story.
POCD simply means the Proceeds of Crime Directorate. It is one of the new directorates of the ICPC. It was set up following the enactment of the Process of Crime Recovery and Management Act of 2022. The directorate derives its mandate from that act. And basically, the mandate of the directorate is to investigate, to trace, to recover, to seek forfeiture, and then to manage and dispose of forfeited assets. What are the forfeited assets? These are assets that have been traced or linked to any corrupt practice, any asset that is the proceed or the benefit derived from any corrupt practice, any asset that is the instrumentality that was used to commit any corrupt practice, any asset as well that is linked to any unlawful or illegal act. In other words, it doesn't necessarily even have to amount to a criminal activity before you can benefit unlawfully from some activity. So what we do at POCD is to investigate the asset itself, not even the individual. And if there is link between what we call illicit financial flow with a particular asset, then that asset is liable to seizure, it is liable to forfeiture, it is liable to be disposed of as a proceed of crime. 2023 has been a very remarkable year for ICPC. First and foremost, upon the setting up of the directorate, the Commission, in its wisdom and under the previous leadership, decided that the first thing to do was to first build up the structure So the directorate was set up, and we carefully designed an effective structure that will assist in carrying out the objectives of the directorate. And then we decided to also recruit staff, or to deploy staff. Staff were brought from different departments to this particular directorate. And then we decided to do the capacity building. Of course, some of the staff that were brought were mostly professionals. We have accountants, we have surveyors, we have valuers, we have engineers, we have legal practitioners, right? So all of these people, you need to bring them together, you need to give them the orientation to enable them understand the role they are required to play, and precisely how you intend for them to play that role, so that people don't just go on the frolic of their own. And in so doing also, I must give credit again to the Commission, especially to the former chairman and the previous director, Mr. Kayode Adedayo. The Commission was able to develop an asset disposal manual. We developed an asset management manual. So all the necessary framework that you need to do your work in compliance with due process has been put down, so that by the time I took over in November of last year, I found that the foundation has already been laid upon which we can build upon going forward. So we're looking forward to 2024 to be a very productive, a very resilient year for us at PFCD ICPC.
You're watching Corruption Must Go, and our focus is still on the Commission's activities in the year 2023. Another major area of focus for the Commission is the monitoring of zonal intervention projects, also known as constituency projects, as well as executive projects, to ensure satisfactory execution and value for money. This exercise commenced in 2019 and has recorded huge successes. In 2023, the fifth phase of the project tracking exercise was completed. Let's hear more about the project from Mr. Hassan Hafiz Muhammad of the Constituency and Executive Project Tracking Unit.
Okay, in the first place, a total of 712 projects were selected to be tracked during the phase 5 of the tracking exercise. However, only 654 were found to have been fully executed. The remaining 58 were either a few of them abandoned, some not executed at all, and then in some cases are still ongoing. Maybe I think about 16, 17 of them are still ongoing. Yeah, so on that's basically it. From the findings of phase 5 tracking exercise, one of the key elements that really stood out and was really I don't know how to even put it, that really stood out for us is the way grants projects are being mismanaged. We have seen situations where grants projects are used as a sure conduit for siphoning public funds. For instance, we've had situations where somebody sponsors grant project. Grant project is monetary grant to people that they don't have to pay back. It's just grants, as the name sounds. Now, when in the bill of quantities for instance, it shows that this grant is supposed to go to 100 million people. 1,000 people, for instance. At the end of the day, it goes to only 5-6 people. And you see one person collecting, let's say, if the project is 200 million, you see one person collecting 50 million, another person collecting 40, another person collecting 30. But what we have realized is that these people kind of reroute these monies back to somewhere. As it is with the other phases, the issue of inflation of contract sums, over invoicing is still there. And then the problem of underperformance of contract is so rampant. Most of the recoveries that we've made during phase 5 were actually from underperformed contracts, and we really recovered a lot from there.
In line with its preventive mandate, ICPC during the year under review also conducted a number of system studies in the government ministries, departments and agencies. The Ethics and Integrity Compliance Scorecard was also administered in these MDAs, and they were ranked in accordance to their performance on their scorecard. Additionally, several anti-corruption and transparency units were inaugurated in MDAs to educate public officers and prevent corruption. Mr. Olusegun Adigun, the Acting Director of the System Study and Review Department, shares some achievements in the preventive mandate of the Commission.
The System Study and Review Department is one of the departments responsible for the preventive mandate of the Commission. The functions of the department are the conduct of system study and review, conduct of risk assessment, and deployment of ethics and integrity compliance scorecard and ATU effectiveness index. And we equally undertake monitoring of program and projects and initiatives of MDAs. And lastly, we coordinate the establishment and activities of anti-corruption transparency unit in ministry, department and agencies of government. And in year 2023, the department conducted 16 system studies, and the number of corruption risk assessment conducted were 4. And for the MDAs that were assessed with ethics and integrity compliance scorecard were 368, while the MDA assessed with ATU effectiveness index was 313. And for the number of ATU inaugurated, it was just we had 35, and the sensitization with respect to ATU in MDAs was 89, and lastly the corruption monitoring activities were 33. So in a nutshell, that was what the department did in year 2023. And for year 2024, we want to move up. We want to conduct no less than 25 system studies in year 2024. So we want to move a bit higher. You understand? So for this year, because for year 2023, 368 MDAs, like I said, were assessed with ethics and integrity compliance scorecard. So we are going to focus on the non-compliant ministry, department and agencies this year. And for ATU, all those agents, all the MDAs that have not established one, we are going to ensure that they are established. So we are going to ensure that all the tools being used for preventive mandate are effectively deployed this year. So that is the plan of the that's the plan of the department for the year 2024.
I am a Nigerian, a highly cultured race. My culture abhors corruption, and with my integrity, a new Nigeria is possible. I say no to corruption today to build a future for my children. Join me and imbibe the culture of integrity to build a Nigeria of our dreams.
You're still watching Corruption Must Go. Remarkably too, during the year under review, the Commission stepped up its public enlightenment and education campaigns by initiating behavioral change programs that involved Nigerians at the grassroots to enlist and foster their support. Mrs. Azuka Ogugua, ICPC spokesperson and acting director, Public Enlightenment and Education, explains more.
The department exceeded its targets for 2023 in both the Education and Public Enlightenment divisions, the two divisions of the department. First of all, in education, we had about 163 clubs formed in secondary schools nationwide and about 10 vanguards formed in universities and tertiary institutions nationwide. We also had competitions for these schools nationwide and debates, essay writing, and other competitions. Because we do a lot of work with the youths, we had some other activities with, for instance, youth corps members. We go to every orientation camp, and we went to every orientation camp to sensitize corps members on their responsibilities and their role in the fight against corruption. That was very impactful. Apart from the orientation camps, we also have the anti-corruption CDS groups, community development service groups, and we had many activities with them such as debates, rallies, nationwide as well. We had some of them coming on excursions to the commission, and this was well captured and well taken. It was an opportunity to sensitize them. We had trainings on sexual harassment for university students. The commission had earlier developed a draft sexual harassment policy for secondary schools and tertiary institutions, and we had engagements with them, talking to them about what is involved in the policy and how they can go about reporting sexual harassment as abuse of office from lecturers or from those in authority to them. That is part of our activities in the education division. We also had many partnership engagements with civil society organizations. At least 45 such engagements were held in civil society organizations. And in all, we had over 540 sensitization sessions nationwide. These sessions included specialized sessions on the national ethics and integrity policy, on behavioral change, which took place, like I said, nationwide in all the 6 geopolitical zones. Coming to the work of the Public Enlightenment Division of the department, we held a lot of sensitizations through our Corruption Must Go television program, which airs on NTA in English language and NTA Star Times in Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba languages. These were held seamlessly to sensitize the public on the work of the Commission and also to mobilize them to join ICPC in fighting corruption, even from the grassroots. That's why we go with the local languages. In addition to this, we had a vibrant relationship with the media. We had over 1,000 engagement reports on the media, and this was part of what we are achieving. And to foster a relationship with the media, we also held a media training sometime in June last year, 2023. Our social media engagement, our website visits was very, very outstanding in the year 2023. And for that, we remain grateful to the Nigerian public for engaging with us on social media, for engaging with us on our website and all our platforms, watching our television programs. Thank you very much.
Towards the end of the year, ICPC welcomed a new chairman, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu SAN, and a new secretary to the commission, Mr. Clifford Okudiri Okparaodu. The new management team of the commission are poised to achieve more in 2024 than the commission achieved in 2023. Just like ICPC overcame all obstacles posed to achieve this success story, we can also break the obstacle to our development by saying no to corruption. That's our package for today. Report all acts of corruption to ICPC on our toll-free number 0800 22 55 4272 or email us on info@icpc.gov.ng. I am Murna Barnabas Atiai. Bye for now.